I tell you, no one's ever going to trust that creep again. He's drunk. What are you looking at? Huh? Hey guys, we're going to be talking about the evil Superman getting drunk in Superman 3. Christopher Reeves taking on this part of Superman, which, really feel that this was his sort of moment for Superman. Up until this point, Christopher Reeves very much typecast as Superman. It was, a choke chain for his acting career once he got into the role, because obviously he was typecast and it was very hard for him to escape, particularly in the period of time of the filming. It wasn't like today with DC and Marvel where they're sort of pumping out superhero movies. Superman was sort of like a lone ranger in terms of film. It was so successful that Reeves was, projected on the screen. And I really felt, that when the time came for sort of Superman 3, this sort of like character arc where we saw the evil Superman come in and Reeves really sort of like push a different dimension to the character. And I think he really embodied this, wholeheartedly. He enjoyed doing this. This showed a side to his acting which was deeper and much more reflective of the struggles that Superman carries with him. And I loved the way this was done. The evil Superman getting drunk, just on the high street with all the crowds coming round, and and the way he calls out, "Hey, it's Ricky! Hey, it's Superman! It's Ricky! Ricky from Smallville!" The way the bartenders and the drunks in the scene are just sort of like leaving him to his own devices, thinking, okay, well, better not, have a go at him because he'll probably just kill me, but the juxtaposition that it's Superman, he shouldn't do that, but then he starts flicking, peanuts, and you're like, well, hang on a second, he's destroying bottles. He could probably do that with my head, but the bartender, attempts to stop him. It's like, okay, maybe not. No, he's in the zone of drunkenness. There's almost like a respect from the other drunks that, oh, he's just having a bad day. He's just drunk, just like the rest of us. And the way he just sort of bends the mirrors there. We don't see the lasers come out. I just love the way the heat is just coming from Christopher Reeves, and that's enough. And he looks fantastic even as a drunk. I love the way the cape has been darkened. The whole suit has this darker tinge to it. When he comes out, what are you looking at? Huh? It's that aggression from Reeves really pumps out. Poor little Superman, you remember me? And it's just like completely ignoring him, obviously. And that's sort of sad. And then you sort of think, wow, he really is in the zone here of a dark place, and his escape from this moment is obviously just to fly off. But even up until this point, Reeves is sort of like just talking to the crowd, walking around. This guy's Superman. He can like move Earth. He can move tectonic plates, and he's just walking around town drunk. It's just got that lovely simplicity to it, which I love. Back to the character development, which is just raw and gritty. And Reeves really takes on, even the way he runs off into the distance for that leap into the air. It's just like he's running away from his pain and his struggle. And as he moves off towards the junkyard, which is sort of like the final moment of the crossroads for him, he's shaking off these feelings literally, and we can always relate to it from a physical drunk perspective. But, as we go into the junkyard, this is sort of like that, that terminal velocity point where we're thinking, okay, it's now or never. And I love the way he screams as he comes down. It's all bursting out of him. Reeves again taking on this part of the role so seriously and with such integrity that I love his acting here. This is, for me, this scene in Superman 3 is pure Superman. This is the greatest part of Reeves that we've seen, where he's really flipping the game here and showing us, those darker challenges that Superman has, and the struggles that he carries in his daily life. I just love it. It's a scene that will be immortalized forever for me, and it's a scene that I always think of when I think of Christopher Reeves. It's just fantastic. Superman, you remember me?